Hello, Sue. It's really lovely that you joined me today to have a chat. Just to let everybody know, Sue is the CEO of able2. Now, you may not know much about able2, so I'm going to ask Sue if you would share a little bit with us as to who is able2, what is it all about, and who are your clients? Who do you service?
Well, thank you so much for contacting me and talking to me today and wanting to know about what we do. That really means an awful lot. We're a Springwood-based disability program, so we support people in our community with a disability. We support everybody from naught, from early intervention, from the littlies, right the way through to to adults. So we used to support very much just the young people, kind of 8 to 20, but now our programs have developed beyond that. So we support all manner of people in all different kinds of programs. Okay. So we do everything from case management and behavior support to skill building groups like social skills and relationship skills and those kinds of things. And we do a bush adventure therapy program as well, which takes young kids out into the bush. And we're doing early intervention, we're doing therapies and so forth. So we've got a really, really special team of people that almost all work in this area, and I'd say probably half or more than half have children themselves that have disabilities.
So they have a great understanding.
They do. And it gives me great pleasure and joy to be able to provide a workplace that champions women, that champions parents who need a flexible work environment, who need to sometimes work from home because their child's suspended from school, who need to be able to go to appointments and things. So I think that's been one of the really lovely things about being a CEO, is that I've been able to say we can do this differently and we can make it so that it's an environment that does great work, but that also really nurtures its staff.
Fantastic, Sue. Sounds wonderful. What geographic area do you cover?
We work with clients from, from Mount Druitt, sort of western suburbs, all the way over to Lithgow.
Okay, big area.
Big area. We've even got a couple of clients in Bathurst. So, wow. But we prefer not to go all the way to Bathurst. But the bulk of our client load is going to be Blue Mountains based, absolutely. Okay. But we do venture out a little bit of those boundaries.
Great. It's you've got lots of challenges in there, I think, but it sounds like you're doing a wonderful job. And how big is your team?
Our team is now probably pushing 70 staff.
Oh, wow, so, huge.
Yeah, and that's just happened organically. I never ever thought it would be that big, but we've got probably 25 of them are support workers. So they workers that go into people's homes and work with people in home or take them into the community, or those sorts of things. Right. Yeah, so of that sort of 65, 70 staff, a very small amount of them are actually office based.
Sure.
They're pretty much out there in the community with clients.
So how is it going with lockdown?
Look, lockdown is such a challenge. It's such a challenge. It's a challenge for our clients, really, because people who are generally socially isolated anyway. are now more socially isolated. And it's a huge challenge with staff, because a lot of our staff, they earn when they work. So when they're not working, they're not earning. And that's a huge,
Wow.
it gives them flexibility to work and care for their children and their families and so. But it means that when they're not working, they're not earning. And that's a huge weight for me, because I'm very mindful of their need to pay their rent, and a lot of them are such brave and proud people. They, even though I'm constantly saying to them, if you're in financial difficulty, please let me know, they don't. They press on. So that's a concern for me. A lot of staff, I find, they love lockdown for a week or two, because it's such a novelty. Working from home feels great.
Yeah.
But then we start to see people decline in terms of their mental health. So we try and fix that, deal with that in other ways. But now with the Delta virus, I'm so mindful of clients being supported by my staff in case my staff bring COVID into their homes. And
very
equally,
stressful.
I'm so concerned. We've got quite a few young boys who we support, who are young adults who will get on a train and travel all around Sydney just because they're lonely and bored. And then one of my staff goes and works with them. And I'm so worried equally about my staff being exposed. And then once exposed, going to support other staff.
Absolutely.
Other clients. So it's a absolute nightmare of compliance and protocols, and always worrying. Today I heard that there was a group home now that has COVID. And I'm just thinking, oh man, these poor people and what they must be going through as an organization. It's just such a worry, and a huge sense of responsibility.
Yes, absolutely. We hear similar stories, from aged care, from staff working in aged care, because it has been the system that quite a few staff have worked in multiple sites. So similar kind of thing. And obviously those who work in community care and things like that. So yes, it's so stressful for a team, and obviously, as you say, increases the social isolation of your clients as well. So it's really hard.
Yeah, and when clients are feeling anxious about COVID, because a lot of our clients, you think about autism, it often comes with anxiety, really anxious people. So when they're really fearful of the virus, they're fearful of leaving their homes, so they're turning down support. They're asking support workers not to come because they're fearful. But then I'm worrying again, because I think that person is by themselves all day. They're not getting the supports they need. They're not accessing, the support, the human contact. We need to check in on them. Where does our responsibility end? And so it's a worrying time. And I tell you what, I cannot wait for it to be over.
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, Sue, I really learned a lot from our conversation, so thank you so much. I don't know if there's any way that we might be able to support you, but certainly when our congregation hears this conversation, we will be praying for you and your team. We'll certainly be doing that. If there's anything that you can think of that we might be able to support you with, and as we've been talking, I've just been, things percolating in my mind, obviously working with, dealing with privacy concerns and stuff, but would it be helpful, for instance, if we had any willing people to have phone calls with clients, just to decrease their social isolation? So if there were clients who would say, look, I'd really love a chat with someone once a week or twice a week or something, and if we happen to have people who would be willing to be that connection, certainly while we're in lockdown, at least. I don't know, I'm just brainstorming perhaps some options. So
look, I would be open to any any discussion,
Yeah,
and
right.
everything's down to what people need on the day.
Mm.
I must say that we already, and I'd love your congregation to know that we already value so much the supports that you give our families at Christmas time with those vouchers and with the toys. And I'd love to call on the congregation later in the year when we do the youth shoeboxes, for contributions to those shoeboxes, because that's something that you've done in the past, and we really, really appreciate. So there will be things that I would love to be able to
Sure.
give you a ring and say, hey. So,
Yep.
but equally, if you or your congregation have any ideas, just give me a shout.
Sure, will do. Okay, that's terrific. Thank you so much.
Thank you.